Hi there, I'm Dani Henderson, spiritualtherapist.com, and today it gives me great excitement to introduce two of our speakers at the upcoming Galactic and Spiritual Informers Connection in October 21, 22, and 23 of this year. I'm going to introduce Quetza Sha. He is an ancient Aztec, Maya, Galactic Shaman, and Asha, who will share insights on the little known Maya YOKA. Welcome, amigas.
Gracias, thank you. We're really excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
Un placer estar en tu programa, en tu audiencia.
It's a pleasure to be on your program.
Muy bien, muy bien. So good to see you. So you guys out there, Quetza Sha is an ancient Spanish-speaking Aztec, Mayan, Galactic.
Yeah, Spanglish.
Spanglish. And so this beautiful man has been for many years teaching ancient methods and ancient technologies, and he is revered around the world. Asha, may I come to you for translation? How many years has Quetza Sha been administering his gifts and his tools on this planet?
¿Para cuántos años ofreces tus servicios por el planeta?
Hace 33 años.
So like 33 years. He's been traveling, he's been doing ceremonies, his therapies and healings, yeah.
Yo empiezo a salir al mundo. Mi primer viaje que realizo fue a Uruguay, Argentina.
He started, his first journey was to Uruguay and Argentina.
A los 22 años.
When he was like 22 years old. That's when he started traveling and yeah.
Y de ahí empiezo el camino por el planeta.
And then his whole path opened for the rest of the planet.
That's so beautiful and interesting. He started at 22 and now he's in his 33rd year. And just a moment to acknowledge the numerology, the significance of those numbers in this moment.
The numbers, yeah, sí. Los números están significados, 22 y 33.
Sí, 22 y 33, ¿no? Es mágico.
It's magic.
Magic, yeah, sí, magical. Okay, yeah. So Asha, could you please also ask Quetza Sha one or two of his most incredible experiences? I know there are thousands and hundreds of thousands at this time, but what can he think to bring to us today?
Okay, puedes compartir uno o dos historias, cuentas de maravillosos de tus viajes.
Bueno, pues hay muchas, ¿no? Yo empiezo.
There's a lot. He started.
Mi proceso espiritual desde que soy un niño, 7, 8 años.
His spiritual process started when he was a child of 7 or 8 years old.
Y desde ahí yo empiezo a sentir cosas extrañas, sonidos.
He started to feel strange things.
Veía cosas,
beautiful things,
imágenes.
Magicians and magic.
Y en este proceso, cuando eres niño, pues no eres consciente de qué te está sucediendo.
When he was a child, he didn't understand what was happening.
Pero mi historia empieza porque en mi vida, cada día, caían plumas. Donde yo estuviera, había una pluma que caía. Si yo escribía, si yo tomaba agua.
Yeah, and early on when his story started, everywhere he went, there were feathers falling from the sky. And, that was something very significant. ¿Cuándo es tu mamá también?
Sí, entonces yo empiezo a guardar estas plumas.
And he started to save the feathers.
En una vasija de metal. Y yo empiezo a coleccionar todas las plumas que voy encontrando cada día.
So in a little metal container, he started to save all the feathers that came every day.
Porque no entendía por qué me aparecían plumas todos los días.
He didn't understand why they were coming every day.
Entonces no tenía alguna ave, no tenía colchas de pluma, de ganso, o sea, no había en mi casa nada que tuviera plumas, ¿no?
There was nothing in his house that could account for the arrival of these feathers. You know, there were no birds in the house or feathered cushions or anything like that.
Y eran plumas muy pequeñas, primero fueron blancas, después fueron violetas, y después fueron doradas, color amarillo.
And they were really small feathers. They started off white and then they turned violet and then they turned gold.
Entonces yo empiezo a coleccionar estas plumas, pero no entendía qué pasaba, ¿no? Estoy hablando entre los 9 y los 13 años de edad, que yo junto estas plumas.
So he didn't understand what was happening. Between 9 years and 13 years old, he was collecting these feathers, and this phenomena was happening all through those years.
Y entonces un día yo abro esta caja de metal y esta caja olía a incienso de iglesia, a copal.
So one day he opened the metal container and this aroma, this smell of incense came to him from the temples, from the church or the temples, like the smell of copal, even though there was nothing in there.
Y de pronto, un día me pongo a meditar con la caja y abro la caja y estas plumas empiezan a vibrar.
Okay, so one day he was meditating and he opened the metal container and the feathers were like vibrating.
Y empiezan a salir de la caja.
And came out of the container, like they kind of rose up, floated up out of the container.
Obviamente, pues me impacté, me paré y corrí, me fui.
Yeah, he was really scared. It had a real impact on him. It scared him and he like took off.
Y bueno, esta fue la primera etapa y es donde empieza mi camino.
This was the first sort of step that started his path.
Cuando yo empiezo a investigar de dónde son estas plumas.
And then he started to investigate where the feathers came
Y
from.
pues no eran plumas de la tierra.
Because they weren't obviously feathers from the earth, like 3D feathers.
Sino eran las plumas que venían del cosmos.
They were feathers that came from the cosmos.
Y cuando esto sucede, yo tengo mi primer contacto en la montaña.
And this led to him having his first contact in the mountains.
En Tepoztlán.
In a place called Tepoztlán.
Que está a 30 minutos de la Ciudad de México.
30 minutes from Mexico City.
Y ahí está el templo de Quetzalcóatl.
And that's where the main temple for Quetzalcoatl is.
Que Quetzalcóatl para los aztecas representa el guía espiritual, el chamán cósmico.
Quetzalcoatl for the Aztecs represented a spiritual guide, the great shaman of the Aztec people, a cosmic shaman.
Y para los mayas representa Kukulcán, la serpiente emplumada.
And for the Maya, Quetzalcoatl is known as Kukulcán, the feathered serpent. But they're the same.
Entonces
entity.
es el mismo significado que tienen maya y azteca.
Yeah, so they have the same, it has the same meaning in Maya and Azteca, just different names.
Entonces, mi primera imagen que se aparece es Quetzalcóatl, un indígena azul turquesa, gigante, un indio gigante azul turquesa.
So he had his first image of Quetzalcoatl was of an indigenous being, gigantic spiritual being.
Y él me dice,
And he said to him,
esas plumas que tú has recibido son de la serpiente emplumada.
and he said to him that the feathers that he had been receiving were from the feathered serpent.
Y tu nombre que te doy a partir de este día es Quetza Sha.
And the name that I'm giving you from this day forward is Quetza Sha,
Que sería el decodificador espiritual de lo que quedó pendiente en el pasado.
And that you will be the decoder of information that came through from the past.
Y me dijo, tú viajarás por el mundo realizando ceremonias para llevar el mensaje de la unificación y la liberación de los pueblos del sol.
You will travel the world, giving ceremonies and sharing information that will liberate the indigenous peoples of the world.
Entonces, en ese momento, yo no entendía nada.
And in that moment, he didn't understand anything what he was told.
Imagínate, yo pasé por todos, psicólogos, psiquiatras, porque mi familia no me entendía, o sea, nadie entendía qué me pasaba.
Yeah, his family didn't understand what was happening to him. They took him to psychologists and therapists, see if there was something wrong with him, because no one understood.
Porque pensaban que estoy loco.
Because they thought he was crazy. He's hearing voices. And
Entonces yo regreso a casa
so he went back home
y le digo a mi familia,
and said to his
a mi
family,
mamá, a mi papá, que yo ya no voy a estudiar. Yo voy a seguir el camino de la serpiente emplumada de Kukulcán Quetzalcóatl.
So he went home and he said to his mother and his father, I'm not going to study, like go to university or whatever. I'm going to follow the path of Quetzalcoatl and Kukulcán, the feathered serpent.
Y entonces empieza ahí mi camino.
And that's how his path started.
Empiezo a visitar todos los centros arqueológicos.
So he started visiting all the archaeological centers.
Y llegaba, tocaba las piedras,
And when he arrived, he put his hands on the rocks
colocaba mi frente
and his front face in front
y empezaba a recibir información.
and started to receive information.
Y entonces yo empezaba a escribir
And he started to write it down.
y no entendía nada
And he didn't understand what any of it,
porque estás solo,
because he was alone
el mundo piensa que estás loco
in a world where they thought he was crazy.
y entonces yo confié en la confianza de mi conexión.
And so he had to have confidence in and trust in his connection to this higher being.
Y así empiezo a escribir la historia del pasado y escribir el futuro de lo que dejaron estas culturas.
So he started to write down the stories of the past and also the stories of the future that these ancient cultures left at these sites.
Entonces empiezo a tener contactos con los mayas, pero galácticos.
So he started to have contact with the Mayas, but the galactic Mayas,
Que no tiene que ver con el maya tradicional, con la cultura. Pues es muy importante entender el maya galáctico o el azteca galáctico, que es la conexión, la cosmovisión con el universo.
he says it's very important to understand, that there is a Maya and Aztec galactic aspect that is in connection with the rest of the cosmos, the rest of the universe, and that's what contact with.
Porque la historia, la antropología, la arqueología ha limitado al nivel humano, explican a nivel humano su concepto.
Because the stories that we have now that are archaeological, anthropological, that most of us know about these cultures is limited.
Y esto no se trata de descifrarlo, el conocimiento cósmico, si hablas maya, azteca, inca, es una conexión divina.
It's a divine connection. you can't treat it just simply as these different cultures, Maya, Aztec, Inca. It's a divine connection. It's bigger than that. This isn't word for word, so I'm just.
Entonces,
Yeah.
esa es la diferencia, ¿no? Entonces, mi primer contacto es en Teotihuacán,
So his first contact was at the pyramid of Teotihuacan
cuando yo recibo una esfera de cristal,
when he received a crystal.
una cristal, una esfera,
Uh-huh.
y en ese momento desciende una nave en la pirámide a las 5 de la tarde, empieza a descender.
So in this moment, a ship, like a UFO type ship, began to descend above the pyramid at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Y yo con esa esfera de cristal, cuando yo veo esa nave desaparece.
And when he had this crystal and he saw the ship, it disappeared.
Entonces ese fue mi segundo contacto. Primero fueron las plumas y después fue el contacto en Teotihuacán con la nave.
So this was his second contact, sort of cosmic contact, I guess you can see. The first was the plumas. The second was seeing the ship at Teotihuacan.
Mi tercer contacto fue en la Riviera Maya.
The third contact was in the Riviera Maya.
Un día en Año Nuevo,
One day at New Year's,
iba manejando en la carretera,
he was driving on the highway.
empezó el viento, mucho viento,
It started to be like a huge amount of wind.
no había nadie
He didn't see anybody.
y se presenta una luz
And
como a 1 kilómetro de mí, una luz gigante, grande.
so there appeared a gigantic light about 1 kilometer in front of him.
Yo me estaciono en la carretera a un lado,
So he's parked on the side of the highway
bajo del automóvil,
behind the automobile.
del coche, del carro,
Uh-huh.
bajo del coche.
Okay. Left the car.
Y se acerca una luz hacia mí con ojos, una luz que se acerca.
So the loose is closer now.
Yo siento todo mi cuerpo escalofrío, todo.
His whole body felt cold.
Mi mente no piensa,
His mind wasn't thinking
no sé qué hacer.
what's going to happen.
Y solamente siento amor.
He only felt love.
Amor, amor, pero infinito amor.
Love, love, and love.
Y entonces me explican telepáticamente
Then they explained to him telepathically.
que yo soy el comandante
Oh,
espiritual
that he's a spiritual commander
que llevaría la base Quetzalcóatl.
from the base, like the base of Quetzalcoatl.
O sea, la base, el comando espiritual.
He's like the commander of the base, of the spiritual base of the Aztecs.
Sería el que tendría contacto con las Pléyades,
And this was that he would have contact with the Pleiades
con los Arturianos,
and the Arcturians
con los Neptunianos.
and Neptunians.
Y cuando yo tuviera este contacto,
And when he had this contact,
yo escribiría la información,
he wrote down all the information.
pero que primero tendría que ir a todos los templos sagrados
But first he had to go to all the sacred temples
que se crearon las puertas dimensionales
to create dimensional portals
de conexión con los extraterrestres.
to connect with the extraterrestrials.
Y que mi misión era unir todos los puntos,
And his mission was to unite all of these points, these portals, these points,
unir a través de ceremonias
to unite through the ceremonies
que abrirían el portal de estas naves que entrarían a la Tierra.
to open these portals so that the ships can enter the earth.
Y bueno, todo ha sido muy fuerte, ¿no?
It was all a very strong experience.
Porque yo solamente pensaba que era lo maya o lo azteca, pero yo primero recorro todo México, todos los templos sagrados de México, zapotecas, mixtecos, mayas, totonacas, chichimecas.
So at first he thought it was going to be Maya, Azteca, but then as he started the work, he realized he was connecting at the different sites with all the indigenous people of all of Mexico, the Zapotecas, well, all the ones he just listed. Can you put it zero?
Totonacas,
Totonacas,
mixtecos.
Mixtecos.
En México existen 68 lenguas
In Mexico,
indígenas.
in Mexico, there exist 68, 68 different languages, indigenous languages.
Y estas lenguas tienen un lenguaje espiritual extraterrestre.
And each of these languages has a component, a language that is extraterrestrial.
Que es lo que nos comunica con esas pirámides,
They communicate at the pyramid with that language.
como Chichen Itza, Tulum, Cobá, Xelha, Tikal en Guatemala, Machu Picchu, Isla de Pascua, Egipto. O sea, no solamente fue la cultura de América, sino que tuve que ir a Egipto a hacer también un trabajo de conexión.
So the connection was with many of these pyramids like Chichen Itza and Tikal and Guatemala, and also in South America, but not only in North and South America, but also in Egypt. So when he went to Egypt, he connected with the extraterrestrials at the pyramids there.
Pero para hacer esta misión, pues no tenía dinero, ¿no?
But starting off on this mission, he didn't have money.
Y cuando me dijeron que viajaría por todo el mundo, dije, ¿cómo voy a hacer?
And then so he's traveling the whole world trying to open these portals. You know, how's he going to do it?
Entonces mi cuarta conexión
His fourth connection,
de experiencia fuerte
of like
es
strong experience,
cuando voy manejando en la carretera
is traveling on the highway.
y me dicen, tienes que manejar 2,000 kilómetros,
They told him you have to drive 200 kilometers,
pero tienes solamente $100.
but he only had $100.
O sea, para ir del centro de México a Chichen Itza.
From the center of Mexico to Chichen Itza, which is very far.
Y me iban a dar instrucciones
And they were going to give him instructions
de qué tenía yo que hacer porque iba a venir una nave por mí, físicamente.
of what he needed to do, because they were sending a ship for him to ship.
Entonces me prepararon 3 meses, fruta y agua.
So he prepared for 3 months, only taking fruit and water.
Y yo lo hice.
And he,
Yo recibía una voz que me decía, te vamos a recoger en Chichen Itza, viene la nave de tu comando para llevarte a una nave.
and then he received a voice that told him when to go to Chichen Itza, that they would meet him, and his commander would come and take him in the ship somewhere.
Pero yo solo tenía $100.
But he only had $100.
¿Cómo voy a llegar? Bueno,
He didn't know how he was going to get there or how he was going to do it physically.
un amigo me presta un coche
A friend loaned him a car,
y yo voy manejando,
and
¿no?
he drove.
Yo voy a conectar con la nave extraterrestre
He's connecting with the extraterrestrial
que me va a
ship
llevar
as he's driving,
al espacio.
and to take it, he's like off into space, you know.
Y de pronto en la carretera yo empiezo a sentir mucho sueño.
And soon on the highway, as he was driving, he started to feel really tired.
Y entonces me orillo en la carretera y quedo dormido.
And so he pulled to the side of the highway and went to sleep.
Quedo dormido, era como un ensueño, era un sueño muy profundo.
And so he had a profound dream as he was asleep.
Y de pronto me dicen, abre tu cartera, tu billetera.
So that soon they told him, open your wallet.
Entonces yo despierto y escucho esa voz que me dice, abre tu cartera.
So he woke up, he heard a voice that said, open your wallet.
Y cuando abro la cartera que me encuentro,
And when he opened his wallet, what he found,
plumas,
of feathers.
Oh.
plumas y mucho dinero,
Of feathers and a lot of money.
Wow.
$2.
Like $400.
Wow.
Imagínate, o sea, ya ahí no puedes dudar, porque son cosas increíbles.
So imagine it. It was, how can you doubt it? It was like something totally incredible.
Yo así pude llegar hasta Chichen Itza,
And so he started to arrive at Chichen Itza.
y lo mismo, entro a la zona arqueológica, me dicen a las 5 de la tarde, va a venir una nave por ti, te van a llevar, tienes que tirar toda la ropa, tienes que enterrar el dinero, la ropa, todo, y ir vestido de blanco.
Okay, so he arrived at the Chichen Itza pyramid and went in, and then he heard more instructions about how he needed to throw away his clothes, get rid of the money now that he was there, and only wear white clothing because the ship was going to come for him at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Entonces dejo todo, pues todo, solamente de blanco.
So he only had white, yeah.
Y voy entrando a la selva, allí en Chichen Itza, voy entrando fuera de la zona arqueológica.
So he went into the jungle outside of the archaeological zone.
Y me dicen, siéntate en esa piedra.
And they said, sit on that rock.
Llego, me siento en esa piedra,
He sat on the rock.
empieza el viento de nada
Big wind
y
came,
empieza a llover
and he started crying.
fuertísimo.
Really strong.
Y yo me veo, ¿y qué voy a hacer? Todo de blanco, me voy a ensuciar, mi mente empieza a pensar.
And then his mind sort of started checking in, like, what am I doing sitting here all in white? I'm going to get dirty.
Y de pronto
And right away,
se acaba la conexión.
oh,
No hay conexión.
he lost the connection. He got into his head worrying and lost the connection.
Entonces empieza mi decepción.
And then he started to feel very disappointed.
Salgo de la selva y solamente llovió en ese círculo.
And so he left the jungle and he only saw this circle
Solo llovió donde yo estaba.
where he was. He could only see that circle where he was.
Entonces voy por mis cosas, mi dinero y voy decepcionado.
So then he went and got his clothes and his money, and he was really disappointed,
Ya no hubo conexión.
and no more connection.
Entonces me regreso a México,
And then he returned to Mexico City,
frustrado porque no tuve contacto con los extraterrestres.
frustrated because he didn't have the contact with the extraterrestrials.
Toda mi preparación.
All his preparation of 3 months was for nothing.
Y cuando llego a México,
And when he arrived in Mexico City,
entro a mi casa,
he entered his house.
me empiezo a sentir con mucho sueño
He started to feel really tired,
y vuelve a aparecer una pluma.
and a feather appeared.
Y vuelvo a tener contacto. Y entonces me dicen, comandante Quetza Sha, mañana tiene que ir a Teotihuacán.
Oh, okay. And then he started to have contact again, and they said to him, Commander Quetza Sha, tomorrow you need to go to Teotihuacan, another pyramid close to Mexico City,
Porque va a tener contacto con una nave.
because you're going to have contact with a ship.
Entonces yo me reí.
And so he laughed.
Yo me reí, dije, ok,
And he
ok, y fui lo mismo. camina para el frente, camina para atrás, camina a un lado, camina. Toda una ceremonia. 3 horas.
So he went, and it was sort of like the same. He walked here, he walked there, doing ceremonies for 3 hours.
Y aparece la nave.
And then the ship appeared.
Aparece la nave y me quedo pasmado.
And he was like
Dice-
frozen.
sí.
Yeah.
Dicen que cuando tienes un contacto, vas a pensar, vas a opinar, vas a decir. No es cierto, te quedas bloqueado.
People say that when you see a ship, you're able to think and to see and to, function. But he said, that's not true. Everything's blocked.
Nos sentimos valientes de que podemos contactar con extraterrestres.
No sentimos?
Nos sentimos que
sentimos.
somos fuertes, poderosos.
He felt powerful and brave that he was able to make contact with the ship.
Pero en realidad, nada, me quedé solo en amor.
Okay, but in reality, he only felt love. He didn't feel those other things. He only felt love.
Y a partir de ese momento, comprendí que tener un contacto con tribus de otros planetas
And he learned in this moment that to have contact with tribes from other planets,
primero es no desearlo.
First, don't say anything. Don't talk.
No desear tener contacto, salir y buscar a los extraterrestres. No se van a aparecer.
They're not going to appear if you're looking for them, calling for them.
Es un respeto,
You have to have a respect
porque son tribus de otras dimensiones.
because they're tribes from other dimensions.
Y es una oportunidad poder contactar con ellos.
And it's an opportunity to have contact with them.
Entonces, a partir de ese momento, entendí que la confianza y la fe
So he understood in this moment to have confidence, trust and faith,
era lo más importante,
that was the most important thing.
sin importar lo que la familia, la sociedad, tu pareja,
Wasn't important your family, society, your partner.
lo importante es tu conexión interna con tu conexión con el universo.
The important thing is your internal connection, your connection with the universe.
Y te puedo contar muchas historias, ¿no?
And so he could tell a lot of stories.
Porque toda mi historia ha sido viajar. Fíjate, te voy a contar otra historia, si quieres.
So a lot of his stories happened when he was traveling. He could tell you another story if you want,
O ya te aburriste y tu pregunta.
or what do you want to ask him?
Well, thank you so much for that, Quetza Sha, and thank you for translating, Asha. It's so beautiful. You're just such a good working combination here, and it really helps. And of course, you guys have had a connection for over 30 years, and you have twin Mayan children together, 2 girls, beautiful 21-year-old Mayan Gemini twins, which is actually very, very unusual. I wanted to ask Quetza Sha about the crystal that he mentioned. Where did he find or get that crystal? What color was the crystal?
El cristal de que tú hablas, ¿de dónde tiene este cristal y qué color fue?
No, es un cristal que apareció azul turquesa.
It was a precious turquoise blue crystal.
Es un cristal que estaba en la tierra,
And it was,
en donde yo me paré, donde yo estaba.
where he was, it was on the ground.
Yo encuentro muchas cosas en el camino.
He finds a lot of things when he's on the path.
Yo, por ejemplo, llego a un lugar y me dicen, escarba la tierra y encuentro imágenes, cosas.
So, sometimes he goes, they say, dig a little in the earth, and he finds incredible things, magic things.
Es una conexión, como puedo hablar con los espíritus.
it's a connection, you know, when he talks with the spirits.
y los espíritus me dicen qué hay, ¿no? Son cosas que, por ejemplo, me han contratado para buscar tesoros o buscar cosas antiguas.
So yeah, sometimes they tell him to look for ancient things, items.
Tengo la capacidad de tocar algo antiguo y poder escribir qué dice.
So he has the ability to touch something ancient and then write down what it is, what it has to say.
Por eso no me he contaminado con libros, no me he contaminado con información religiosa, no me he contaminado con tradiciones.
So for that reason, he doesn't contaminate the information with traditional information, religious information, and information from books. He doesn't go to any of those sources, he gets it directly.
Porque yo tenía que tocar la piedra y conectar con la frecuencia ancestral.
Because he touches the object and then he connects with the ancestral, makes the ancestral connection.
Entonces esta piedra azul era una piedra que no era normal, no era un cuarzo, no era una piedra de la tierra.
So that blue rock or crystal, it wasn't a normal crystal. It wasn't of the earth.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful. One more question for the moment. When you went to Giza, who were the ETs that you connected with?
Cuando vas a Egipto, a la pirámide de Giza, ¿quién fue los extraterrestres que te contaron?
Bueno, Egipto para mí fue muy fuerte,
He said Egypt was really strong for him.
¿no? Porque como mi concepto es universal,
Because his concept is universal.
para primero entrar a Egipto, al templo de Giza, yo no podía entrar, yo no podía leer la información.
When he first arrived at the pyramid of Giza, he couldn't go in, he couldn't read the information,
No podía entrar al templo.
he couldn't go into the temple.
Entonces me decía, tienes que recordar cómo se activa un templo en Egipto para que puedas entrar y puedas leer la información.
So they told him he needed to remember how to make contact with the temple there and to access the information. I didn't get that quite exactly, but yeah.
Entonces yo empiezo a cantar.
So he started to chant,
Empiezo a cantar y de pronto empiezo a recordar
and then he started to remember
que para entrar a un templo en Egipto, a los costados hay círculos.
that to enter a temple in Egypt, there's lying to the side circles.
Y que primero tenía que hacer la geometría sagrada
And first you have to make the sacred
con
geometry
sonidos
with sound.
y movimientos con mis manos,
With sound and hand movements.
como si yo tuviera una esfera de energía
So he made a sphere of
y
energy.
empiezo así, y empiezo a abrir todo el templo.
And then it started to open the whole temple.
Entro al templo
And then entered into the temple.
y es una luz que se abre, haz de cuenta que subí una persiana.
It was when he entered the temple, a light appeared,
Se abre una puerta.
like a portal opened.
Y el guardia que está en el templo de Giza
And the guardian of the temple of Giza
entiende,
understood.
se va, apaga la luz
He left and turned off the light
y me deja solo.
and left him alone.
Wow.
Imagínate solo en el templo de Giza y me cierran la puerta.
Oh, imagine being alone in the temple of Giza and they closed the door.
Wow.
Y de pronto me conecto y empiezo a hacer un ritual.
And then right away he connected and he started to do a ritual.
Pero empiezo a hacer un ritual y empiezo a hacer la geometría sagrada dentro del templo.
And he's making the sacred
Y
geometry.
empiezo a traer a Kenatón, y empiezo a traer a Nefertiti, y empiezo a traer a los espíritus de Egipto,
Oh, and then there appeared the spirits of Nefertiti
a
and
Kenatón,
Akhenaten.
y empieza la conexión,
Started the connection.
y ahí empieza la información.
And
Entonces
then,
me dicen, nosotros somos parte de los arturianos, somos parte de los neptunianos.
and then started to come the information and they said, we are part of the Arcturians, we are part of the Neptunians.
Aunque los arturianos corresponden a la parte céltica de Europa.
And the Arcturians are a part of the Celtics of Europe.
O sea, toda esa conexión que también he estado en todos los templos de Merlín.
Because he started to make the connection that they were in all of the Merlin temples around
O sea,
Europe.
también he estado en Karnak,
In Karnak, also they were in Karnak in France.
en Francia, ¿no? Conectando con los arturianos. Pero Egipto se abrió esa puerta, esa conexión, y ellos han preparado ese lugar para poder entender la muerte consciente.
So, and he understood that the ancients, the extraterrestrials he was in contact with, prepared this place in Egypt for dying consciously.
Y poder entender la programación del ADN,
To understand the programming of DNA,
donde al enterrar a un rey egipcio,
where it integrated with an Egyptian king,
y quitar, o sea, todo su organismo, separarlo y ponerlo en vasijas, ponerlo, sus órganos, el corazón, todo separado.
So they separated, he understood why they separated all the organs of the body and they put them in a container.
Eso existe para separar toda la programación
This was to separate all the different programs
celular de un cuerpo humano
of the cells of a human body
y mantener la esencia del alma
and to maintain the essence of the soul
en el sarcófago
in the sarcophagus
para que se conserve la esencia
to conserve the essence. Yeah.
y a través de las pirámides de Egipto,
And then above the pyramids of Egypt,
sea
behind,
el alimento que conecta con el desierto y todas las pirámides del mundo.
so behind the pyramids in Egypt, there was an element that connected with all of the pyramids all around the world.
Entonces, no es que solo Egipto es el separador celular.
It's not just in Egypt, it's a cellular separation.
Pero el alma del reinado es la que está conectando con todas las tribus del sol del planeta.
But the soul reigns and connects with all the tribes of the world.
Okay, this is absolutely mind-blowing. Please explain.
She says su mente explora.
The mente explora, Quetza Sha. Okay, and this is why ladles and jelly beans out there watching. This is why this conference, the Galactic and Spiritual Informers.com, is so incredibly, globally, universally important. You have
Okay.
I'll just speak to the audience. But
Okay.
yeah, again, just to say to the audience before we come back to translation that you just heard something mind-blowing. You guys out there just heard something you've never heard before. And this is the man who's bringing it. Please tell him.
Ella dice a la gente, las personas que escuchan que este es por qué la conferencia es tan importante, porque van a traer gente importante como Quetza Sha que tienen información que nunca escuchas, no escuchan en otro lugar, otra conferencia.
Magnifico. Bueno. I want to mention the fact that Quetza connected with Nefertiti and Akhenaten, who, for those that don't know, were husband and wife. They are the parents, it is said, of Tutankhamun. How interesting, interesante, that they came and appeared in the temple with Quetza Sha, and yet when they were alive, they tried to make the whole of Egypt follow just one creator, or the sun god Shah, or the sun god Ra, or other names that is known by. Can you answer why you might think that happened?
Es muy interesante que aparecen aquí Nefertiti y
Akhenaten.
who had the son who we know as King Tut. El niño fue King Tut. Porque ellos quieren unificar Egipto con el rey del sol. ¿Por qué piensas que aparecen a ti? ¿Qué significa? What does it mean?
Bueno, siempre todas las culturas, tanto de Centroamérica, Norteamérica, Sudamérica, Egipto, Grecia, Europa.
Well, all the cultures, North America, South America, Greece, Egypt, Europe.
Todo, así como hay de la A a la Z, el abecedario, el A, B, C, D.
Oh, it's like an alphabet.
Pues lo mismo existe en el proceso de la evolución de la humanidad.
So the same kind of process like the alphabet that exists in the evolution of humanity.
Entonces, los dioses o reyes del sol en Egipto
So the kings and queens of the sun in Egypt,
tenían conciencia de la alquimia, de la magia,
they had the wisdom of alchemy and magic.
y sabían, o eran los chamanes de ese momento,
And they knew the prayers of the shamans at that time.
entonces sabían que tenían que dejar un programa.
So they had a program.
Por eso los egipcios, los mayas, los incas dejan un programa energético, celular, para este tiempo.
So they left a program, energetic and cellular, for our time, for this time.
Por eso es que ahorita estamos viviendo el nacimiento del sexto sol.
And because right now we are in the time of the birth of the sixth sun,
Que es el separar el trigo de la cizaña, separar lo negativo de lo positivo.
so this is the time of separating the negative from the positive,
Para que surja el nuevo sistema del sol, la tribu del sol.
so that it can rise up a new tribe of the sun.
Para conectar las tribus del sol de Egipto con las tribus del sol incas, con las tribus del sol mayas, con las tribus del sol aztecas.
To connect with the tribes of the Inca, to connect with the tribes of the Maya, to connect with the tribes of the Aztecas, Greek, all of them.
Es una red solar
It's a red sun.
para rescatar,
A red solar.
sí, una red de
The
conexión
ray, like the rays of the sun. Yeah.
para salvar a la nueva tribu del sol.
In order to save the new tribe of the sun.
Tú sabes que en este momento el proceso de la vacunación, el proceso de todo lo que la humanidad está viviendo,
So you know that in this time with the vaccinations and everything humanity is experiencing,
todo lo que los gobiernos están proponiendo,
what the governments are proposing
es para cambiar la programación del ADN de la humanidad.
is to change the DNA of the humanity.
Yes, yes. Now, you know, we have to be careful there, sadly, because the boob tube bullies watch everything we're doing. But yes.
Hablar mucho de eso para YouTube.
The retardos are watching. Yes, so this is incredible. So we can't share everything here, which is why the great Quetza Sha will be at the conference, guys, the galacticspiritualinformers.com. You need more. I need more. We need more of this man's great ancient knowledge. Language, no more a barrier. Translatez-vous, Sherry.
Well, let me just say that I'm delighted to be able to share Quetza Sha with you and whoever's listening, because it's rare that we in the English-speaking world have an opportunity to hear the indigenous wisdom of, Mexicans. Just because of the language barrier, we don't hear much from them, and so I'm very happy to be a facilitator of this sharing.
Absolutely. Asha, maybe move to you for a moment. Could you share in brief, and I'm going to say to everyone out there that watches this, Asha and I did a broadcast a few months ago when we were in Mexico together, and it's on my channel. Scroll down on the videos, and it's the one that says Solar Flash. So we went deep into the Maya YOKA ancient technology. Could you give us a brief synopsis of what you are going to share at the greatest conference of disclosure in the entire planet and the universe, please?
Absolutely, the greatest conference. Well, I'm going to share about YOKA Maya, which is a system of yoga that the ancient Mayans have left traces of it to us. There's just very few of us on the planet who even know about YOKA Maya. I received it from another Mayan elder as I was traveling in the pyramids in the Yucatan before I met Quetza Sha. And so I found it absolutely astonishing that yoga existed in the Maya lands of Mexico in a form with so many similarities of the tradition of yoga that I was accustomed to from India. But the YOKA Maya brings a very special kind of shamanic yoga element. I believe it's yoga in its earliest shamanic form, what I'm going to share is at the conference is the very special information that YOKA Maya has about how we can gracefully birth ourselves with this changes happening in the sun, with the birth of this new sun, as Quetza Sha said, the sixth sun, which is happening now. We are in the birth pains of the sixth sun as we speak. So how can we integrate this really strong energy? So many of us are feeling it. So many of us are having sleepless nights and various kinds of strange body symptoms and energetic kinds of experiences. And so Yoka Maya helps us to better understand our relationship with the sun and how to gracefully birth this new reality.
That's so beautiful. I wonder if I may for a moment share with the beautiful viewers the painting that your very clever daughter painted, that I have the very first copy of. Oops, let me know if you can see this. Oh, hang on. It's just so it's just a moment.
Ah, there it is.
Let's say
That. There they are, looking beautiful.
That's
The
what
painting.
my daughter did.
Our daughter Ishel is a very talented painter, and Dani has one of her first pieces. And the other video that we did behind us was another painting of Ishel.
Huge. I'm just wondering, actually, because I had you guys on speaker. I'm not sure, just to make sure that people actually do see it, so that we're both on. Look at that. That is so flippin' beautiful.
Yes.
Love it. It's so special. Is she there? She can say hello. May as well make it a family reunion.
Do you want me to go and see if she's in the next?
Well, don't leave him. I don't want him to get nervous and us ditch him. But you could just call her. She can just come in and say hi, introduce herself as one of the most incredible modern day artists of our time, who imbues the, she imbues the ancient DNA of her father and her mother. So hopefully you can hear everything. So Quetza, remember me and you at Chichen Itza.
Yes, of course.
Bueno.
Fantastic.
Fantástico, ceremonia. Sí.
Bueno,
Ishel no está. Ishel's not here, so sorry about
Okay. Well, just a fun moment, spontaneity. We don't have to be all proper and get it just right. I just like the organic fluidity of the way that I like to present and bring wonderful people in. Remember, we all went together to Chichen Itza, and I have said many times to the beautiful viewers that watch this channel that I had an experience. And guys out there, these are them that way. These are the people I went with and did ceremony with, and it was amazing. Now, ask Quetza Sha, please, what was the name of the temple that we sat in front of with your twins and he went into ceremony?
Okay, so cuando estamos en Chichen Itza por el tour con Dani, ella tiene una experiencia y cuando estamos enfrente de un templo, no la pirámide, el templo atrás, sí, and you entered into ceremony to comenzar ceremonias, fue el templo de mujer?
Sí, es el templo femenino.
It was a
temple of the woman.
Uh-huh.
It was.
Sí,
do you want to say more?
No.
So one of the things that amazed me was when you were in full connection, it sounded like 3 voices coming out of you.
Okay. Ella recuerda que cuando estás en conexión en este momento, aparece que fue 3 voces dentro de ti que tú cantas.
Soy sí, pues son muchas voces.
He said, yeah, there's a lot of voices.
Soy multidimensional.
He's multidimensional.
No, pero es que cada lenguaje va a un chakra, ¿no? Entonces no es lo mismo este chakra que este chakra. Y en el lenguaje cambia, ¿no? Entonces cambia la frecuencia. En una ceremonia son varias. ¿Qué es lo que vamos a hacer en la ceremonia
Espérate. So he's explaining that in each of the chakras has a language with a different frequency. And so depending on which chakra he is connecting with, the language changes.
Y como estamos en tiempos de activar nuestra sexualidad cósmica,
So we're in the time of activating our cosmic sexuality.
es importante porque es la fuente, es la base.
Porque it's the base, it's the fountain.
O sea, toda la conexión con Kukulcán, Quetzalcóatl, es la sexualidad cósmica.
All of the connection with Quetzalcoatl and Kukulcán is a connection of cosmic sexuality.
Porque eso es muy importante. La gente se ha olvidado de la sexualidad cósmica.
So it's really important that people serve cosmic sexuality.
Que es un tantra consciente para activar nuestra conexión.
It's a conscious tantra to connect, to make our connection.
Por eso estos tres sonidos que vivimos en la ceremonia activó esa frecuencia.
So those three voices that we were experiencing in the ceremony activated that frequency.
Nuestra danza del Kundalini al Sol.
Our dance of the Kundalini and the sun.
Que en México sería Kukulcán en lugar de Kundalini. Eso es lo mismo.
In Mexico, it was Kukulcán.
Kundalini.
Kukulcán lives in the place of the Kundalini.
Sí, es similar.
They're the same thing. Kukulcán is the Kundalini energy.
Perfecto. And one other place that we went to many places together, all of us, you two and myself and your daughters, your twin girls. And we went to the cenote.
Otro lugar que visitábamos fue un cenote.
Uh-huh.
And in the deep in the second cenote that we went deep underground. And then you were doing ceremony and your voice was many voices bouncing off the rock.
Okay, I don't know how I'm going to explain that, but deep in the cavern, in the cenote, you were chanting and you're,
Brilliant. Oh, comedy gold. Comedy gold.
Here and there were cigars in la caverna.
Sí.
Asha, that was funny.
Mira, los cenotes es un lugar muy importante con la geometría sagrada.
So the cenotes are very important places for sacred geometry.
Porque es una conexión con todo el inframundo, pero dentro de la luz.
So because it's connection with everything in the inner earth connected to the light.
Y cada cenote tiene una frecuencia vibratoria que a través del sonido activas los portales dimensionales de ese cenote.
Because each cenote has a vibratory frequency que conecten con
Los cenotes.
sí, pero okay. Each one has a different vibratory frequency. Conecten con el sol.
Conectan con el sol.
Connecting with the sun.
Beautiful. So to those that don't know what a cenote is, I'm going to spell it for people. And then Asha, could you tell us what they are? So a cenote, and there are many around Mexico. It is CEYNOTE. Correcto? Correcto, Mando. Cenote.
No, actually, I think, Dani, it's CENOTES. Cenote.
There's with an S on the end. Okay. Asha, can you tell us what a cenote is, please?
Well, the whole Yucatan Peninsula is made primarily of limestone, and in the limestone, there are hundreds and hundreds of these cenotes that are sinkholes. They're sinkholes that connect with fresh underwater rivers. So there are these underwater rivers under the Yucatan Peninsula, and these cenotes come from above ground. Sometimes they're open above ground. Sometimes you go down into a cave and you find a body of water, fresh water, that is a cenote. And these cenotes can go down, hundreds and hundreds of feet or even kilometers into the earth and connect with one another through these underground waterways. And they're considered to be very sacred places to Maya.
I love
And
it.
there's some theories that they are the result of an ancient meteor shower, like a gigantic meteor shower, maybe even connected to the one that took out the dinosaurs, where these chunks of meteorite went, deep into the earth and left these deep cenotes, sinkholes.
Yeah, it's a very interesting theory indeed, indeed. Well, it was amazing to spend time with you guys in Chichen Itza.
Fue increíble pasar tiempo con nosotros en Chichen
Un
Itza.
placer conocerte y poder hacer esta ceremonia contigo.
Sí, it was a pleasure to get to know you and to do that ceremony.
Por eso estamos aquí, ¿no? Fue como la apertura para el evento que vamos a hacer en octubre.
See, and that's why we're here to open the pathway for this event in October.
Que amablemente nos invitaste.
And it was very kind of you to invite us.
It is honestly my honor, our honor, those of us putting this whole beautiful event together. And it is so important that you are both there in residence to help share disclosure in every language to every person that attends.
Dice, es un honor tener nosotros que representen allí para compartir esta información muy profunda, importante.
Mucho importante, Quetza Sha, mucho, mucho.
Fíjate, en el 2012, 12 del 12 del 2012,
In 2012,
el mundo pensó que era el fin del calendario maya, el fin del mundo, el fin de la espiritualidad.
people thought it was the end of the Mayan calendar, the end of the world, the end of spirituality.
Que el calendario maya ya había finalizado.
El calendario no
Pero
fue,
pero no finalizó.
but it wasn't finished.
Fue solamente el proceso para lo que estamos viviendo hoy.
It was just a process that began that we are living now, today.
Porque las puertas espirituales en la tierra maya se siguen abriendo.
Because the portals in the Riviera Maya started opening.
Por eso estamos haciendo iniciaciones en todos los templos mayas como lo hicimos contigo.
And that's why we're doing initiations in all the temples, like something like what we did with you.
Porque es importante que el alma de las personas regresen a su centro.
Because it's important at this time that people's souls become centered in their bodies again.
Y si no pueden viajar físicamente, desde el sueño podemos conectar.
Because you can travel physically
Desde el sueño
in your dreams
podemos conectar.
to connect.
Oh,
Home. This has been mind-blowing, guys. I am so excited. I can't wait to watch this back. I can't wait to watch it back. Because when you're,
Sure.
can you
Go
hear
ahead.
me? Yeah. So when we're in the interview, it's so beautiful. Yet you miss so much as well. But just to absorb everything that he shared, especially the geometry and the hand symbols in the Pyramid of Giza, that kind of blew my mind. And I know that people watching this are going to be so delighted to, again, obtain the true history of their planet.
Ella está muy emocionada para escuchar esta entrevista después, otra vez, porque fue muchas cosas que ella quiere entender, escuchar otra vez, que explora su mente y es como en tu cuenta de Egipto. Y es muy importante para gente, sí, que todos conocen esta información.
Perfecto, perfecto. Muchas gracias, Quetza Sha. Muchas gracias, Asha.
Quetza,
In Lak'ech,
Lakesh. Yo soy tú, tú eres yo.
I'm you, you are me. That's the Mayan greeting in Lak'ech.
I love it. I love it. You are you, I am me. Mwah. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to share you with everybody. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. And Asha, you're going to share more of the YOKA Maya at the events. But I really feel we've given the audience thus far so much today.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Gracias a mi traductora galáctica.
Thanks to his
Que
galactic
sé que no es
director.
fácil la traducción de temas así extraños, ¿no?
It's not easy to translate these strange things.
But you did a great job. And so, guys, get your tickets. Get your tickets. Come to the event. All you got to do is go online and put in galacticspiritualinformers.com. galacticspiritualinformers.com. Tickets are starting to sell out. Get your hotel rooms at the same hotel. When you book your ticket, you'll get a link to the hotel. It's the DoubleTree at the entrance to Universal Studios. Come enjoy a 3-day experience with these beautiful benevolence from galactics to indigenous, and then stay longer and have a holiday, have a vacay. We've been shut down for 2 years. Let's make the most of it. Thank you guys. Love to you both. And to you out there, mwah, mwah, mwah. And to you guys, yay! Yes, I love it. I love it. To you guys out there, I send you my love and I will see you soon.